I'm going to show you how being robbed for £600,000 worth of luxury designer goods will help you transform your reselling and personal shopping business, especially if you don't want to hold any stock or invest thousands into products, using my PSWS process. If you stay until the end, you'll get access to the 4 key resources to apply what we're about to cover at your own pace. These include the VIP client acquisition guide, the Instagram rebranding video, the content vault access, and the exclusive supplier playbook. Whether you're completely new to personal shopping or you've already tried reselling and need some help making sense of it all, this is for you. But first, this is how it all started. I was a dead broke teenager from Chesterfield with no purpose or vision for what I wanted from life. I'd always look at my peers in work, school, to understand why people could afford these luxury designer brands. I thought there must be a cheat code. And this was until I found personal shopping and reselling. Back in my reselling days, I was grinding hard. I was buying defective goods from outlets for steep discounts and reselling them for a profit. And I was working. I was in university, I was making money at the time, and I was building inventory. I was scaling really fast, but I knew I was actually going to suffer for it. And before I knew it, I was staring at the aftermath of the worst financial loss I'd actually ever experienced. My warehouse got robbed because we were scaling so fast on the reseller method, buying X and selling for Y. We lost track through overexpansion of how much value of stock we actually had, which sounds like a great problem because you're scaling so fast. And because you run the risk of storing luxury goods, especially in the UK, we neglected the source on request model, which had always worked and always made us money. We were making the same amount of money on the source on request model as we were on wholesale buying stock, and it made no sense for us to continue buying products. Let me paint the picture. So I left the office at 6 p.m. I looked into the sky and I said, thank you, God, for blessing me with so many items and being able to be in the position I was at 23 years old. I was making £250,000 a month in profit, and I was making more money than I'd ever made in my entire life from literally buying for Y and selling for X, literally just reselling. And I thought, this is great. I then left and went to the gym, and 10 minutes later, across the road when I'm in the gym, I get a text on my phone saying, your alarm has been alerted in the warehouse. I thought, this must just be a test, or it must have been something that fell over in the warehouse. Surely nothing's happened. I leave the gym straight away. I turn up to the warehouse precisely 7 minutes later from when I got the call, and when I turn up, I see the shutter doors had been broken into with half the Louis Vuitton stock just gone and disappeared. Over £600,000 worth of designer inventory vanished in literally 3 minutes from these guys being in this warehouse and stealing our items. Why am I spending so much on wholesale when I don't even need the inventory because of our partnerships? And now that's why I'm telling you this. You can hold the stock in the short term and you can even see some results from it. But the longer that you rely on buying inventory up front and guessing what will sell, the harder you'll crash when something goes wrong. One bad event can destroy everything, especially like my situation. We didn't financially recover for over a year of running my business in 2023. And that's why you need to build a profitable personal shopping business that doesn't require the upfront investment into the stock. That day then changed my life when I arrived at the warehouse to see such a tragic event. And I began searching for a model that eliminated inventory risk and let my clients tell me what they wanted first and still allow me to build the income that I always dreamed of whilst traveling around the world, making hundreds of thousands to millions just from servicing celebrities, rappers, and footballers. And also a huge audience of just generic people who just wanted to buy luxury items. It made me operate with much lower risk and much higher margins while still giving me the freedom I desired. Now, I want to show you what I actually discovered. I know we went straight into things there, but my name is Jack Ely and I'm the owner of a multi-7-figure online personal shopping business called Moldy Trends. And I want to tell you something, you do not need to hold thousands in stock to build a personal shopping business. Not if you're starting from scratch, not if you've been burnt before. Using the principles I'm about to share with you, not only can you build a profitable personal shopping business using the source and on request model, but you can also do it whilst eliminating that upfront capital risk, building a business where traveling around the world, servicing celebrities, rappers, and footballers with luxury items is the norm. The speed at which you see results depends on how consistently you apply what I'm about to show you. And if you take this to heart, not only can you take control over your income and your business, you'll build the kind of freedom where flying to Italy to source for a client is just another Tuesday in the office, where you're not tied to inventory or location, where you're building real wealth while living the lifestyle that you've always wanted to live. But first, let me ask you, on a scale of 1 to 10, how impactful would it be to wake up knowing you can either take or decline a client request, maybe maybe even traveling to Paris to shop for them in person while calling it a business trip. Sourcing designer pieces without holding any stock, and to be able to fulfill orders profitably, knowing your business model is sustainable and low risk. If you're an 11 out of 10, you are going to love the PSWS process I'm about to reveal. Just for your clarity as well, PSWS means personal shopping without stock. It's the same set of processes I used after the warehouse robbery to rebuild my business without the risk, making the same amount of money from the source on request model that I was making from holding stock at the time, but without the nightmare. It's the same method I used to help my client Rich Bliss UK, who previously had no experience in the luxury goods market and now owns a store in Wolverhampton, turning over 6 figures every single month. And just like CDR in apparel, who turns over 6 figures every single month, selling top of the range activewear brands like Under Armour, Nike, Asics, you name it. This guy has the market in chokehold. And he started with no experience, 0 followers, and no access to stock prior to us giving them access to our suppliers. Both Rich Bliss and CDR in apparel had no idea that they could break into this world when they first started in our industry. Now, the very first concept that you must understand to unlocking your personal shopping business is client acquisition. You may have heard about DMs and cold outreach, but without understanding exactly how to tap into your existing network first, you'll waste months trying to build an audience from scratch. But don't worry, we're actually going to put that to rest right now. And I promise you, client acquisition is so much more simpler than what most people think. And what I mean by client acquisition is acquiring your clients, landing on your first VIP. And it all comes down to leverage in the network that you already have in the right way. Here's what you need to know. There are 3 key sub-processes that make up successful client acquisition. In each play a different essential role in landing your first clients fast. Miss any of these and you'll struggle to get traction. But by nailing just the right approach for each, you can land on your first clients within days, not months. And if you want more info on what that'll look like, we're gonna have time to cover that in this video today. You just need to remember to stick around so you can grab the VIP client acquisition guide. With that, let's cover the first one, the most essential part of getting your first clients: fast reaching out to your existing audience. And what I mean by that is family and friends, existing followers on Instagram, existing friends on Facebook, people you have as a friend on Snapchat. You can break into these 4 brackets: Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and your existing contacts straight away. The first thing you want to do is reach out to every single person that you have on Snapchat or Facebook or Instagram. For most people, on average, that's going to be around 1,500 to 2,000 people. And this is your warm audience. They already know who you are. They already trust you. And this is the fastest path to your first sales. If your outreach game is weak, meaning that you don't know how to approach these people in the right way, you could have the perfect products in the world. You could have the perfect message, but you'll never know how to build the client base that you're looking for. In fact, if you've been posting products, getting no responses, and not reaching out to your existing network, that's probably gonna be one of the first issues. That's why in the first step, we'll always identify tapping into this network that you already have. The second key element is the one that actually gets people to respond and take action. It's the personalized message approach. You wanna go in with a simple message. I've just signed a huge partnership with a designer broker, giving me access to the world's largest exclusive brands at a huge discount. We have 100% authentic goods, and I wanted to reach out to a few of my friends to put you on our VIP broadcast list. You're probably listening to me on the video right now thinking, you know what, I want to be part of that as well with the way I just pitched it. But let's get back to the video. Now, when you're building this relationship and you send that message, you're going to confirm the client's phone number as well. And the reason for that is because it then becomes more personal and it creates curiosity. And it positions you as someone with an exclusive access to this broad range of products. And it has a clear call to action. You're not selling them yet, you're inviting them into something exclusive. And the biggest contribution of a personalized message is that it breaks through the noise. People ignore generic DMs and mass messages, but when you reach out personally, mention a partnership and make them feel selected, they then respond. Now, how important do you think it is to get your first clients within days instead of months? This then brings me on to my next point, and it's something that I want you to action right now, and that's to set up a WhatsApp broadcast. Now, once you have a client's phone number, you want to then basically add their phone number into the WhatsApp broadcast, and this is so that it sends a message out to everyone separately who you add into the broadcast. And in order to convert outreach messaging and taking advantage of your personal network, you want to then group these customers and you want to place them into a WhatsApp broadcast, which I want you to action today. With WhatsApp broadcasts, once you you add someone in there and you send out a message, it sends it out to every single person individually. So it makes your outreach approach a lot more personalized to each individual person. For the people that are around you and the phone numbers that you already have, you're just gonna literally ring them up and get them to join the WhatsApp list whilst you're on the phone with them. For people who respond to your personalized message with their number, you add them straight into the broadcast. This way, when you post new products, exclusive deals, or limited availability items, everyone on your broadcast sees it as a personalized message from you. A one-on-one notification chat that drives action. Now, here's something that people don't know about WhatsApp broadcasts. They do the heavy lifting for you at scale. When you source a piece for one client and post it to your broadcast, 3 other people might want it too. You're gonna use it like a portfolio. Now you've turned 1 sale into 4 potential sales without holding any stock. If you struggle scaling or getting consistent sales, ask yourself, am I using broadcasts enough to multiply my reach? If not, you may have just found the answer. Okay, now that we've covered client acquisition, it's time to talk about how people perceive you and your personal shopping business. This all comes down to Instagram rebranding and positioning. And if your goal's not to just make a few sales to family and friends, but actually to build a real personal shopping business that attracts VIP clients consistently, your Instagram profile needs to communicate one thing. You're a personal shopper with access to exclusive designer goods. And most people fail at doing this because their Instagram still looks like a personal shopping account with random posts and no consistency. And that does not work. Your profile needs to immediately signal what you do, who you help, and why someone should trust you. And the good news, you can transform your entire positioning with a few simple changes that will take less than an hour while still keeping your page in your name and identity. Now, I cover this in way more depth inside the Instagram rebranding video you'll get access to if you stay until the end of this video. Here's what you need to know about rebranding. You're not gonna need to go and set up a brand new Instagram page. You can literally leverage your personal brand with your existing audience. And I don't know if you guys can remember Fedor Sneaks back in the day, but he's a great example who did this, who pretty much just used his first name and then Sneaks afterwards. So you could call it James Sneaks or Alfie Sneaks, or you could go for Sourced by Jamie or Sourced by Sandra. These are all different names and there's loads of different ways you can spin off the branding. And if you want to keep everything else the same, your followers, your existing posts, the only thing we're going to be actually changing is your username, your bio, to just clearly communicate what you're going to do. When someone from your network lands on your profile after you've reached out, they should immediately be thinking to themselves, yeah, this person is legit. They source designer goods and I can work with them. That perception shift is everything. And this is why earlier on in the video, I spoke about the importance of client outreach. Using this method is what's going to drive huge success into your personal shopping business. Because on your personal Instagram page, you might know someone called Joe. Let's pretend this pair of Dior trainers is Joe. Joe also follows 1,000 other people. And you can message Joe's 1,000 following by simply introducing a message to them by saying, I know we're a mutual with Joe, just to let you know a bit more about my business. And then you pitch them on the scripts that we spoke about earlier on in the video. And imagine you doing that every single day. If we do that over the course of a month, that's 6,000 messages. Do you genuinely believe that you, as a competent, intelligent individual, wouldn't be able to acquire at least one client? Which then brings me on as to why we would also need to revamp your highlights. We're gonna change the highlights so it says clients, exclusives, new in, services, so that when people come onto the profile and see who James is, rather than being James Tanworth with some random party photos, he's now sourced by James, who offers this range of services with proof of past clients and exclusive access. When someone lands on your page, they should immediately see structured professional highlights that communicate trust and access. Now, here's something most people don't know about highlights. Your highlights do more selling than actual posts themselves. When someone checks your profile, they scroll through your highlights first to see proof to see if you're real. If your highlights show clients, testimonials, exclusives and rare pieces, services, and list what you offer, you've already pre-sold them before they even DM you about a product. And if you want the full breakdown with Canva templates and examples to plug and play into your profile, remember to stick around till the end when we cover the Instagram rebranding video. Thirdly, we have your feed strategy. With your profile feed on Instagram acting like a portfolio, what we're gonna do is take content from rappers and footballers who are already wearing designer, and we're gonna use their content and reference the rapper or the footballer in the image. You can be like, Mbappe was caught wearing a Dior Icon t-shirt and a Richard Mille. The chances of these photos appearing in the For You page, the Explore page, are going to increase significantly because you're showing people who are recognizable, therefore attracting a non-follower audience. And not only that, the people who are already following you, for example, your family, friends, etc., they're immediately gauging that trust because they think you've sourced it for these rappers or for these footballers. They think that you sourced them that item, meaning that you can build trust even as a beginner and get results. So it's building this portfolio on your Instagram page where you've got these rappers, footballers, familiar faces. It's almost like a blog theme page, but with a mix of stock-based content alongside your personal stuff. This makes your profile look established, connected, trustworthy, even if you started yesterday. And we've done it time and time again on Morley Trends where we've used other people's content and generated a shit ton of sales from it. And one more thing to mention as well, we give you access to the designer content vault with over 3,000 videos and photos of items that are currently trending in the market. Not to mention the 1,000 suppliers that are constantly feeding and posting stock every single day in our community. Okay, now that we've covered client acquisition and Instagram positioning, what content do you actually create and post consistently? The answer is one of the most hated aspects of personal shopping success. And you might think it's complicated, but I promise it'll be simple if you stick with me. If you hate creating content and you don't want to show your face, I'm about to save you so much time and frustration. Because most people think that they need to become influencers and post themselves constantly. And that's not true. And for those who don't want to show their face, that is completely fine. Content creation for personal shopping should not take more than a couple of hours per week, even if you're building a full portfolio feed. And here's the truth, you have 3 main content methods. You can mix and match it based on what feels right for you. Content method 1 is using other people's content. This includes 2 approaches. First, you want to take content from rappers and footballers who are already wearing designer. We covered this in the positioning section, but this is your bread and butter for content. You reference the person in the post, for example, at Mbappe, and it builds trust while you're attracting non-followers. The second approach for this method is by going on TikTok, typing Louis Vuitton into the search bar, filtering it to the last 30 days, and going to the most liked. You want to then use a watermark remover and then download someone else's video that's already gone viral. And then what you want to do is reference the creator on your profile. So to give you an example of that, you're going to put the username of the creator from who you sourced the video from, i.e. Jeanette wears the new LV skates, and then you're going to basically use TikTok as an incubator, leveraging creators who are already getting viral clips, and the chances of them landing viral on your page are just as high because it's already worked for them. And this is perfect for people who don't want to show their face and create original content. You're creating high performing content and leveraging what's already proven to work. Now, method number 2 is going physically into a local boutique, designer retailer, designer brand in your local town. This is the most authentic approach. You go to the designer store, you film the content there, and you make a day in the life type video. For example, come with me to go and shop the new Go Yard collection. And it's real, it's yours. It builds massive trust because people see that you're actually connected to these spaces and have access to these boutiques. You can do collection reviews, walk through the boutiques, you can show the products on display, and you can create that behind the scenes personal shopper vibe. This method is perfect for those people who want to add their own personal style and show they're actively sourcing these items for your clients. Then we have method number 3, your own personal portfolio content. When you do start getting orders, you want to then capture the product and you want to get videos and photos of the item that you sourced for your client. Whenever you order from our suppliers, you get the item sent to your house first, you take the videos and the photos of it, and even potentially make a day in the life personal shopper video, dropping it off to the client, and then you can actually use that as your own video on your page to build that authenticity. Just like one of our members who came on board with us last week, Durson Deluxe, who recently posted a photo of him and his VIP footballer client. I'm gonna load it up now because we actually want to take some pride in this moment. All of the personal style videos, behind the scenes moments, client deliveries, all feed into building that brand authenticity and shows your audience what you're actually doing with your work. And for those who are worried about not wanting to post yourselves yet, there are people who've done this successfully using only one method: other people's content, footballers and rappers, high performing viral reels. You don't have to show your face to build a successful personal shopping business. We also give you access to the designer content vault. And this eliminates the need for you to post yourself. You can literally use our content. Now, super important note before we move on. Start with the method that removes the most friction for you. If you're camera shy, use method 1. If you love creating, use methods 2 and 3. Always choose what gets you moving the fastest. Speed is crucial. But above all, the fourth thing that will make the difference between trying this for a few weeks and giving up versus building a real sustainable business is number 4, feedback and coaching. You can in fact do everything else right now. Your client acquisition, rebranding your Instagram page perfectly, creating great content. But if you do it in a vacuum without experienced guidance, you'll never have confirmation whether you're actually doing it correctly. Now, imagine that compounded over the course of months and even years. How much longer do you think it will take to reach the income goals that you have? And that's why feedback and why coaching is so important. And I actually didn't figure this out alone either. Even when I was running the traditional stock model, buying and reselling, when things were actually working out and I was making £250,000 a month in profit, the reason that I lasted as long as I did before the robbery was because I had people around me, mentors, other resellers, personal shoppers, a network who helped me see the blind spots. And after the £600,000 loss from the warehouse robbery, it was the same network that helped me pivot to the source on request model without me having to rebuild the same risk. It was having the right people around me who told me, look, you don't even need the stock anymore. You're making the same amount of money from the source on request model. Double down on that. You're welcome to take everything I've shown you so far and implement it to the best of your ability. And I hope that you're able to transform your business. The reality is that having the right people around you, coaches, mentors, and a community collapses time. It helps you avoid mistakes that cost money. It gives you accountability when motivation runs out. And it confirms you're on the right path when doubt creeps in. That's the difference between spinning your wheels for a year and landing on your first VIP client in 30 days. Instead, I want to offer you an opportunity I never had. One that would have saved me so much time, money, resource, frustration. One that I would have taken within a heartbeat. Here's what I want to offer you. My team and I will show you one-to-one, step-by-step, how to land on VIP clients using the exact steps we just covered, unique to you, your style, your process. And we'll even show you how to monitor your progress at every phase so you never have to wonder, is this actually working? We'll show you how to source designer goods on demand, how to vet suppliers, and what the best content is to post. Just like we helped Plugged In, based in London, who originally started off with the designer vault posting all of our content to then transform his page into his own personal shopping brand with his own content in his own ecosystem. Now turning over £100,000 a month in revenue with orders coming in every single day. Or just like Castle Clothing, who came into the program less than 6 months ago and has built a huge strong brand around some of the content that he's pushing at the moment, contributing to over 2 to 3 orders every day, on average making £400 to £500 every single day. Or just like ALM Apparel, who came into the program less than 4 weeks ago and is still using content from the designer vault and slowly transitioning to his own content style. He's made over £3,000 in profits since being in the program and is starting to build a really cool network of VIP clients. So you can finally build a personal shopping business that doesn't require you to gamble on inventory, doesn't type your cash flow, and gives you the freedom to travel the world servicing high-end clients. And these are just a few of our success stories of many clients who've built success in the personal shopping business. We believe that hard work outperforms talent, and we believe that every action has an equal and opposite reaction, so that the effort that you put in directly impacts what you get out. We believe that pushing yourself and embracing yourself through networking are crucial areas for success, because a strong network of suppliers and community support is the fundamental to making money in the industry. Our platform is for those prepared to be part of an encouraging and an empowering network. We stand for helping each other win, sharing opportunities, and building real relationships with clients and suppliers. We live as examples through persistence, the right model, and the right support. And that's why we built Morley Trends into a multi-7-figure company, allowing us to build a business where traveling around the world servicing high-end clients is the norm. And it's absolutely possible. If this fires you up, you might be the perfect fit for Resellers Room. On the other hand, if it makes you uncomfortable, good. Lean into that discomfort, because that's where all the growth happens. What I'm about to ask of you will challenge you. It will push you to reach out to your entire network, rebuild your Instagram, create content, build relationships, and put yourself out there. It won't be easy, but for the first time, you'll actually have a clear path to building a sustainable personal shopping business without gambling on inventory or risking massive losses like I did. If you don't connect with hard work, networking, and a source on request approach, please do not apply. Our programs are not a good fit for you, and we'd rather work with fewer people and make a real lasting impact than bring as many people as possible into the program. And that's how we help more people in the long run, by keeping quality as high as possible whilst keeping quantity minimal. And I don't want to waste your time by giving you the tools and resources you won't use. But if you're willing to commit to building a real personal shopping business, doing the outreach, rebranding your profile, creating the content, building the relationships, and implementing what we teach, we will be your biggest advocate and do everything we can do in our power to ensure you experience a long-lasting transformation that impacts every area of your life. You'll get access not only to coaching and all of the resources I've mentioned, but also to our private community of personal shoppers and resellers who are on this journey with you. Not to mention the 2 to 3 events that we host in real life every single year, completely funded by Resellers Room, for your food, drinks, and the conference itself. This will give you the ability to connect with other personal shoppers, network with them, and also find out any upcoming updates and features we're building into the Resellers Room platform. Today's the opportunity for you to jump in with these exclusive suppliers that I've built relationships with for the last 10 years. We're always expanding all areas of the Resellers Room platform, especially exclusive suppliers. And because we still run Morley Trends day in, day out ourselves, we're going to use this as a feedback loop for your business too, to understand what works. And the only expectation we have is that you pass on this knowledge forward whenever you see someone else needing the help. So apply below and let's see if you have what it takes to build a real personal shopping business. I can't wait to help you achieve the freedom and the income you're looking for, and hopefully we'll see you soon in the Resellers Room.